How's everybody doing today? Today is Monday, June 10th. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. I'm trying to get into the YouTube algorithm. Um, it's so much going on. Over the weekend, there was a migrant in the Bronx. Oh, shoot. Let me find the article. Jose, who killed two American residents, and now he's on the run. So now they killing us. Illegal immigrant wanted on warrant now suspected in fatal shooting outside New York City building. So they've been squatting in the projects, in vacant apartments in the projects in the Bronx, and they allowing that. An illegal immigrant from Venezuela with a lengthy rap sheet is wanted for alleged gunning down two people during a dispute outside of a Bronx apartment building while already being sought on a felony warrant. Jose Silva, 21, who has already been arrested a dozen times this year on robbery, theft, and gun charges, is now facing a murder rap following the early Friday morning shooting in Fordham Heights. Police and law enforcement sources told the Post. Silva, who skipped out on a Bronx gun case, is also suspected in a series of migrant moped robberies. So this is how your catch and release is going. Your no bail, keep sending them back out there to commit more and more crime until U.S. residents, legal citizens, end up dead. This is some bull crap. We have no idea who they are, what they've done in their own countries, and what the plan is for them now that they're here. One frustrated law enforcement source told the Post, who says they can't graduate from stealing possession to a double murder. But maybe we're going to explain all that away because somebody's a migrant. The source said empathy can't excuse away a double murder. We have our hands, we have to get our hands around this problem, and it's going to get our hands around us. Look like it already got its hands around us. This is why we need Trump in office. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Now you unaliving American citizens. Friday's fatal shooting stemmed from a dispute sparked by a nasty comment to one of the residents there. Police sources say the victims were outside on Davidson Avenue building shortly after midnight when a passerby made a disrespectful comment to a 44-year-old woman. The woman's boyfriend confronted the creep, and the two got into a dispute, but the man left and went inside the building, only returned later with another group of friends, and they had baseball bats. One of the thugs opened fire with a 40 caliber handgun, striking the woman, her 36-year-old boyfriend, and a 21-year-old woman who was struck in the arm. The older two victims were struck in the chest and taken to St. Barnabas Hospital, where they both were pronounced dead. According to police, the third victim suffered a non life threatening injury. The Venezuelan native was in the U.S. illegally and in the Big Apple for about a year. Silva has repeatedly run afoul of the New York PD in the months since his arrival, with six arrests on a variety of charges and a suspected link to the moped heists that have terrorized the city. His first arrest came on February 6th when he was charged with petty larceny in Brooklyn. On February 25th, he was busted on charges of grand larceny and criminal possession of a loaded gun. They just let him right on out. A spokesman for the Bronx DA's office said Thursday the prosecutors asked for bail, but Silver was put on supervised release and had a bench warrant issue after skipping out on the case. You think? Really? His next arrest after that was on April 4th, followed by possession of stolen property rap on May 3rd. And they still didn't keep him after they issued a bench warrant. It is not clear if Silva is among the tens of thousands of asylum seekers who have been busted to the five boroughs from the U.S. border from Mexico since 2022. Officials at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement did not immediately respond to the request for a comment from the Post. So, due to this double murder, now Mayor Adams asked a year ago that they rescind the right to shelter law, and they were like, no, 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 we're not. So now that this has happened, the New York City Council wants to make changes to the sanctuary city law status and amend the right to shelter law only for New Yorkers, which it should have been in the first place. So it take people to become unalive before you do something. This is a tragic travesty to say the least. The fall of America. That's all I got to say. Young Thug on the 88th day of trial. This is the longest trial I ever seen. It's on this 88th day. I'm like, how many witnesses? What they got going on? I ain't been keeping up with it, but it's sure been a long trial. Rapper C. Gambino found dead. He was a Swedish rapper. They just knocking him down all over the world. Oh, don't confuse this with Childish Gambino. No, 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 no. This guy was from Sweden. Oh, he was shot in Sweden. I thought it was Childish Gambino at first. So Trump had a big turnout in Las Vegas over the weekend at a rally. Um, some people left early, they're saying, because it was so hot. It was so hot and people couldn't manage. It was 105 degrees. They say this is going to be the hottest summer in a long, long time. And this is why the other people, the non-melanated people, is blocking out the sun and everything else because they can't take the sun. Their skin won't absorb it. But so this is why they're doing what they're doing, talking about climate change. The fact of the matter is the sun is getting hotter and it's gonna burn their ass up. Sorry about that word, but ass means donkey. So and they saying a lot of people, it wasn't just the heat, it was because because he keeps saying the same talking points. Well, what else is supposed to talk about? The Bidenomics is not working. People are suffering out here. The illegal immigration, those are the top two things. I could care less about abortion or anything else, women's reproductive rights. Right now, I want to retire and have some money in my pocket. Okay? That's what my concern is. I could care less about that other stuff. Those are my top two concerns. Walmart shares hit an all-time High. So the Senate and the House committee is talking about legalizing marijuana. So they already were talking about reclassifying as a low level drug, just like any over the counter thing. So now they're talking about just forget it, just legalize it. Jaguar Wright was arrested last week in Dallas for that U-Haul scam and missing her court date out of Dallas a year ago. She's since been out, but I don't care for her, and I think she just tells a bunch of lies. She was never in that circle, okay? She was never in that circle from the late '90s with Jay-Z and all that. She was never allowed in those circles. And when they realize how nutty fruity she is, mm-mm, I think she's just a liar, and she just reiterates what's already been out there. She ain't never been in that circle. Point blank, period. Now they're saying that Moderna's combination COVID and flu vaccine is more effective than the existing shots in the late stage trials. So now they're doing trials instead of just putting it out on the market. I've been trying to buy this stock, Navita. Dang, it's at 120 a share. It started so low a week ago, and I have been having trouble trying to buy this stock. So North Korea, with its nuclear arms now, is threatening South Korea, and they've been sending trash balloons and poop balloons over to their side of the island, of their side of the country. He got poop everywhere. Oh, and Joe Biden had a disastrous week in France. It was awful. It looked like he was literally pooping on himself, but the man was looking for a chair to sit down. And Jill escorted him off the stage abruptly. He was just, and then he got Ukraine and Iran mixed up. If anybody can see that this man is decrepit and has now and has dementia, Alzheimer's, I don't know what to say. It is no way that this man is capable of running anything. Thank you, Obama, for running this country, I guess. Running it to hell. Oh, and then with his disastrous, as I said, is that border policy that he just issued, which he could have done a long time ago by executive order. So it goes like this: you can allow up to 2,500 people in a day. And once you reach that limit, then you can close down the border and deport them. But guess what? The people that they trying to deport, they don't have no planes available to send them back. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Do you hear me? The worst president in the history of the United States. Now they saying it's the unfortunate truth about claiming Social Security at 70. While 70 is the optimal age to apply for Social Security for the majority of retirees, it doesn't mean there are no downsides to it. In some instances, waiting until 70 could even be detrimental to your finances and your ability to enjoy retirement. Here's the unfortunate truth. If you have the freedom and financial flexibility to claim your social security benefits at any age, then you'll have to make a calculated bet on when you should claim it. While Social Security is designed to pay out an equal amount in the lifetime benefits for an average person, regardless of when they claim, you probably don't fit the average. If you live to an average age or longer, you're likely benefit from delaying you're likely to delay benefits until age 70. 57% of retirees would maximize their wealth by waiting into 70 to claim Social Security. Not that that's from a certainty, and many retirees don't live long enough to get the most out of that strategy. Regardless, determining the exact optimal age to claim your Social Security benefits will require knowing exactly when you pass away. But we don't know that one. You don't know when your number is up, right? You might be waiting for nothing. Social Security doesn't max out at age 70 for everyone. Anyone claim a spouse or a survivor benefits will receive the maximum retirement benefit when they reach full retirement age. Those born in 1954 or earlier reach full retirement at age 66. The age increases by 2 months of every year you were born from after 1954. I never knew that. I never knew that. Before maxing out at age 67 for those born 1960 or later. You'll be responsible for your health insurance because you don't become eligible for Medicare until you age 65. And then you need a supplemental because Medicaid don't pay for everything to pay for the other 20%. I think Medicare just pays for 80%. Or you're going to have a lot of medical bills. So they found the body of the missing TV doctor Michael Mosley. His body is believed to be on a Greek island. So everybody mad at Brad Pitt because of the remarks that Biden said about the ICC, which his wife is an attorney, international attorney, and she works with the ICC at the International Criminal Court. And then Biden reversed his remarks and a policy on the ICC, and so people upset about that. There's a new COVID variant out there, KP.3, now makes up 25% of the new COVID cases. Warren Buffett is worth $138 billion now. That must be nice. I sure like to see how I feel. I sure I sure would like to see how I feel. So they're saying that this popular sugar-free sweetener is linked to heart attacks and strokes. Cleveland Clinic research discovered that higher amounts of sugar, alcohol, xylitol are associated with increased risk of cardiovascular events like heart attack and stroke. And this substance is XYLITOL. Let me see what it and this is according to European Heart Journal. Xylitol is a common sugar substitute used in sugar free candy, gums, baked goods, and oral products like toothpaste. Over the past decade, the use of sugar substitutes, including sugar, alcohols, and artificial sweeteners, has increased significantly in processed foods that are promoted as healthy alternatives. The same research found that ethanol and cardiovascular risk last year. So it's another one that ethanol that's in the same products causes strokes and heart attacks as well. We the only country that unalive its citizens through its food. We the only country that does that. A small plane crashed on the front line of a home in Colorado on Friday morning. Two adults and two children were taken to the hospital. Their current conditions are unknown. But when they crashed, I heard screaming that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Kent Murray, who lives near the crash site, um, Arvada fire deputy chief said that the fire crews responded to the scene at 9:30 a.m. He also said a hazmat crew is at the scene in case of a potential fuel spill. That's unfortunate. So they're saying that it may be a mistrial in Trump's case, and the judge Merchan sent out a letter stating that a juror's cousin posted on the court website and another website that his cousin told him that Trump is surely going to be convicted. So this may result in a mistrial. The Dems are saying that that's a lie, but apparently Judge Merchan sent out a letter stating that it's possible leaked information, and so this is interesting when this actually comes out and see what the judge is going to do in this case. Elon Musk could lose $3 billion from a new Tesla lawsuit. Musk is currently campaigning for the largest compensation law package in history, 56 billion being voted by Tesla investors, but he's facing a lawsuit that could cost him several $1 billion. Filed in Delaware, a lawsuit originating from Tesla investor Michael Perry alleges Musk drove the company's stock value higher, but knew the first quarter results for 2023 would underperform. The lawsuit alleges Musk sold more than 7.5 billion in company stock to cover a loan taken to purchase Twitter. See, I didn't know the man took a loan to purchase. I thought he bought it outright for 44 billion in 2022. The lawsuit states Musk sold 3 trillion and 3 trillion worth of stock in November and December 2022. The CEO of EV company was quoted as saying Tesla was having an epic end of the year weeks before the sale, and the suit alleges Musk's new performance will be below expectations. Hmm, which resulted in him losing money. So that's interesting. Putin says he sees no threat of warranting use of nuclear arms, but warns Russia could arm Western foes. So I mean, well, he already been arming Iran. So He said the use of nuclear weapons is only possible in exceptional cases and that he does not believe such a case has risen. The Russian leader has repeatedly raised the specter of nuclear attacks since 1992 when he invaded Ukraine. On Friday, he repeated a warning made days earlier that Moscow reserves the right to arm Western adversaries as a response to some NATO allies allowing Ukraine to use their weapons to strike targets into Russia. If they supply weapons to combat zone and call for using these weapons against our territory, why don't we have the right to do the same? But I'm not ready to say that we will be doing it tomorrow, he said. But he may do that in the future to Western adversaries. The U.S. has said that Russia has turned to North Korea and Iran to beef up its stock of relatively simple weapons, but Moscow could dip into its stock of high tech missiles to share with adversaries of the West if Putin decides to fulfill his threat. The United States and Germany recently authorized Ukraine to hit some targets on Russian store with long-range weapons that are being supplied to Kyiv. On Wednesday, Western official and a U.S. senator said Ukraine was has used American weapons to strike inside Russia under newly approved guidance from decrepit Joe Biden that allows American arms to be used to defend Kyiv, Ukraine's second largest city. And did you see that video that they showed all these millions and Biden gave Ukraine another $225 million? Um, did you see that the people was partying at the bar? We paying for businesses, we paying for government officials, we paying for retirements, we doing all that, and they just partying, having a good time, and they suspended the election. So he's still in power. Crooked, crooked. So Mexico got a new president. I should have entitled this just international news. Mexico has its first woman president. Be interesting how that's gonna turn out. Um, Alex Jones is asking since he needs has to pay off the Sandy Hook victims' families. It's like $3 billion, and he already filed Chapter 7. He already filed Chapter 7, and he wants to include that lawsuit, which he should be able to. So that's something he's trying to do because like last week he has Infowars and he was crying and saying how the elite and the globalists are coming after him and all this, that, and the other thing. But he did say some harsh remarks and he paying for it. So Russian warships are on their way to Cuba. So I think I'm gonna end that right there, and then I'm gonna come back and do Michigan news. I'm gonna change this title just to international news in the description. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. Thank you.